Jonah Miles kicks it all off for us this month. They're Too Quick in Amsterdam. Loving this catchy tune.
I was walking down the street one day, trying to find my name. I'd been waiting for an easier day, but I was running out of time. The cops were uncooperative, and the fire brigade just laughed. Oh, they didn't believe me, 'cause they'd never seen it whizzing past. You said I never had a case like this before. Where'd you see it last? I said I saw it going west on Sullivan Street, but it was travelling very fast. I've been looking for hours, that's why I came to you. But they told me it's out of our hands, this is between your name and you. Everything's the same. When it went away, all my ceilings rained, I can't feel my brain, all my thoughts remain tangled in the way that makes you wanna say, I can't hear your face, I can't taste the day. Maybe that's the way that we'll have to stay. Walking down the street today, hoping to fall in like. But then too quick in Amsterdam, zipping along on those bikes. If the spokes could speak to me, maybe they'd ease my mind. But the tires don't try to talk, so I'm walking away and I'm tired. Lost one name, 20 letters long. I've been posting these all day, and everything's gone wrong. The sun's gone away, and the horizon's full of lightning. There's not a single sighting, but call this number if you find it. Well, I'll be walking down the street someday, trying to make a change. If you see me, come and say hello, you know it'll make my day. And if you see my name in an unexpected place, tell him go forever to the Netherlands, because I never wanna see him again.
Our first ever submission from the Solomon Islands, sending some island vibes to your ears. Enjoy BladzMan with Be Love.
We have come a long way from where we began. In this trouble and hard world, you didn't go to school. Your peers did so in an important part of the community now. Could you be low and below? I find many who have grown into handsome and strong you become, but you are different from the rest. You hide behind the walls because no one has something to say to you. Could you be loved and be loved? I made you turn out the way you do. You were both lead all around the same time. There was cereal and race. There was no one else to nurse you, but you had to lean on your own growing up. Could you be low and be low? Could you be low? Yeah. Could you be low and be loved? Could you be low and be low? I can see the real you, and I don't know how to deal with you. They see you as incapable, they see you as still learning. Could you be low and be low? But with our friends in the clouds, we have fed thousands, we have clothed hundreds, we have rescued tens of thousands. We did good, we did better, so why bother you all? We got a mind of our own, so go to hell if what you are taking is not right. Love will never leave us alone, and the darkness it must come out to light. Could you be loved and be loved? Could you be loved and be loved? Could you be loved and love and be loved? Could you be loved and be loved? Yeah. Could you be loved and be loved? Could you be loved and love and be loved? Could you be loved and be loved? The road of life is rocky, and you may stumble too. It's while you point your finger, someone else is judging you. Love your brother, man. Could you be low and be low? Could you be low?
Let's change it up just a wee bit. From Switzerland, these guys are Almost Human with their song War Pigs. Fun fact, we have played this guy's band before. Enjoy Katanak with Life.
Lately, I think I wanna live together. You make me wanna live forever. Oh, no force can keep us apart. Starting fires and setting off alarms. I love feeling your head on my heart, my heart. So take my soul and make it whole. We live is not simple at all. I feel so small when I'm 6 foot tall. It makes you wonder why people try at all. The world's breaking down and we'll turn it into ours. Lately, I think I'm losing the plot. I think I'm ready to drop in. I just can't control myself. Feel like just screaming in the street, telling every single person that I meet that I'm sick of feeling down. I'm sick of feeling down. So take my soul and make it whole. The world we live is not simple at all. I feel so small when I'm 6 foot tall. It makes you wonder why people try at all. So take my life and make it mine. I wanna love again. And you take your time, you need more signs. You don't wanna let her in. And you chose my path, so from the very start. And you control my life, my mind design. You don't wanna let it in. Maybe I should do the math. Maybe I should do it again. 'Cause baby it says we're together, but I haven't seen you in forever. Lately, I think I wanna live together. Make me wanna live forever. Oh, so take my life and make it mine. I wanna love again. And you take your time, you need more signs. You don't wanna let her in. Take my life and make it mine. I wanna love again. And you take your time, you need more signs. You don't wanna let it in. And you chose my path, said from the very start. And you control my life, not my design. You don't wanna let me love again.
Same Day is next with their song Where You Go, I'll Follow. Shout out to these Melbourneites. JD totally fangirled over you guys.
I'm still breathing, I'm still here. Just so you know I'm not going anywhere.
This next song is very LA and suitably so. This is Tessa and the Troubadours with their song In Too Deep.
Don't you get me confused, you know I wanna stay true. Won't fall apart till I'm through, I'm gonna keep you around. You have my heart in this hole, I wanna lose self-control. Your big brown eyes pierce my soul, you better keep me around. Please don't stray, not today, I can't wait. My mind's all loaded up. Don't let it go, 'cause I'm way too deep. No, I'm alone. Feels like I just can't breathe. I need your hands, your sweet romance. Please kiss the light back into me. Don't let it go, 'cause I'm in way too deep. Attracted to you, you made me wish that I knew. I fall apart, I'll be through. I can't keep you around. All thoughts of you in my head, no sleep, just dreaming in bed. When all is done and is said, I wanna keep you around. Please don't say, not today, I can't wait. My mind's all loaded up. Don't let it go, 'cause I'm in way too deep. No, no, I'm alone. Feels like I just can't breathe. I need your hands, your sweet romance. Please kiss the light back into me. Don't let it go, 'cause I'm in too deep.
From the Gold Coast, this is Mad with Wish. If you like alternate pop, you'll dig these guys.
Be careful what you wish for, you might get it. I've been looking for you in this sweater, hoping that you hit me up, send me a letter. Every time I see you, you're in your head, girl. Be careful what you wish for, you might get it. I've been looking for you in this sweater, hoping that you hit me up, send me a letter. Every time I see you, you're in your head. head, girl. I was holding on to too much emotion. We're so broken, but let it go. On act so normal so no one noticed, but I gotta let go and stay focused on my music. I've been hopeless, I gotta do this. Float my boat in a therapeutic motion, ocean. Too much time, my mind's been broken. Just in the thought of me holding. When you're low, calling my phone, I can't pick up, I've gotta go now. Be careful what you wish for, you might get it. I've been looking for you in this sweater, hoping that you hit me up, send me a letter. Every time I see you, you're in your head, girl. Be careful what you wish for, you might get it. I've been looking for you in this sweater, hoping that you hit me up, send me a letter. Every time I see you, you're in your head, girl. And now you're gone, but I'm doing better. I'm doing what I can just to keep my head up, putting in the hours just to keep my checks up. And I give the best luck for all my homies next up. There's too many leeches trying to have me set up, but I got too many watching from heaven. That beat showed me how to stay genuine. I'm on my grind like 24/7. Now she messaging me through email, and I ain't got time to get to detail, to focus on all I did wrong. I mean, I was in love with you, for you I wrote songs. Now I'm on the bright side, yeah, I live the highlight, but you still argue like you like to fight life. I'm like bye, bye baby, bye bye. Be careful what you wish for, you might get it. I've been looking for you in this sweater, hoping that you hit me up, send me a letter. Every time I see you, you're in your head, girl. You're in your head, you're in your head, girl. You're in your head, you're in your head, girl.
Hey regulars, welcome to the October 2019 Regular Radio podcast. We've decided to mix up our format for you this month. Let us know your thoughts.
We've got a whole bunch of awesome reviews actually to check out from our offline staff, the guys you won't hear on air. That's difficult to say. We've got Ped Saber's review of Slipknot's new album, We Are Not Your Kind, which did fantastically in the charts. We've got Wayne Dawes' review of Chance the Rapper's new album, The Big Day. Cody Clark did a gaming review of a new game called The Dark Pictures Man of Medan. I have been playing Sniper Elite 4 on the PS4. Now, that's not a new game, but it came for free on PS Plus, so I played it, and then I thought, I'll review it.
Nerd.
Why not? It's a couple of years old, but it's a good game. Sarah, my wonderful wife, is back with her book review, literature review, whatever you want to say, of Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine, a novel by Gail Honeyman. And she's also thrown in a tech review for the month of the Samsung Galaxy Watch Active.
Got to love a good review. Check out our website on www.regularradio.com.au for those and so much more. The content is literally overflowing every month.
It is, and we have a lot on this month. Em is going to be interviewing our feature artist, Mr. Duncan Saige.
Would love to have a beer with Duncan.
We would love to have a beer with Duncan, but sadly he is leaving Australia.
Yeah, all the way to London, but let's just leave that up.
We'll leave that. We'll let Duncan tell us that story. What else have we got? We've got Craig back with the news, of course, the titillating news that Craig... What did we call him?
Craig Jennifer Lawrence of Arabia.
So the titillating Craig that Craig Jennifer Lawrence of Arabia has to bring us this month. And unfortunately, Dalton is still away after the immense success of his show, which you can find on our website, of course, regularradio.com.au. He's been bombarded by fans just throwing cum balloons at him everywhere, so he's not available this month, possibly next month. We don't know when he'll be back, but he will be back. He will be back better than ever. Shawnee has also fucked off. Don't know where Shawnee is, but Shawnee, if you're out there, call us. send us a Facebook message, put up a smoke flare, do something. And
Where in the world is Shawnee Miller?
we're concerned that you haven't masturbated for 2 months, and that's not right.
Maybe he's with Dalton, making the cum balloons.
Now that would explain maybe he's masturbating for someone else.
Yeah.
For Dalton.
Oh, I feel the betrayal.
Oh, and of course we have new reviews coming. So all those reviews are currently up. We have new reviews coming for October. So jump onto our website at regularradio.com.au for all that information.
And as usual, we have some pretty amazing new and repeat artists for you this month. We've got our first submission from the Solomon Islands, which I'm personally looking forward to. We have artists from Canada, Ireland, Bangkok, LA, UAE, London, and Australia, just to name a few. And the best part is we don't pick favourite genres. There is always something for everyone. Isn't that right, JD?
There is. So if you're not enjoying the track that's on at the moment, just hit the skip button or flick through the next one and you're sure to find something you're going to love.
Yeah, that's if they haven't just skipped over our voices.
That's fucking harsh. If you've done that, I'd just like to say fuck you.
Well, I think that's all from us for just a wee moment.
No, it's fucking not. So we're going to talk some shit for a bit because we've already played, 6 tracks?
Yeah.
And
I was just G'ing everyone up.
G'ing everyone up my ass. So we've got another 12 tracks to come yet. I wanted to talk about a few current affairs, and we're also going to have my wife Sarah in to chat with Em and myself later on. So last month we had about 40 minutes of talking shit, but I thought I'd split into 2 because that's a killer. And then we didn't even give any music at the end, which was a bit of a dick move. Harsh.
That's so bad.
So my first topic is the great, well, not so great anymore, Cardinal Pell. Friend of Emma's, I think. So Australia's
just an asterisk at the end of that.
Just to
please.
clarify, not a friend of Emma's.
Not a friend of mine. Just in case people don't get the humour and sarcasm.
Look, he, as of making this podcast, he is still currently Australia's most senior Catholic. He has not been. He has not had his cardinal status removed by Pope Francis, which is, if you ask me, kind of a dick move and very disrespectful to some of the victims that all of the victims that Cardinal Pell has been involved with. Without delving too far, I don't really like talking about the subject, but to be honest, it's real news, and that's the kind of thing we need to talk about because that's what the world's about.
Yeah, so I actually did hear some news about this today. He has appealed to the High Court of Australia because his last appeal, which I think was the court below that.
Yes.
Please help me out here.
The Supreme Court.
Well, you could never tell I did legal studies.
If it's as good as your math skills, we can only hope.
Oh God. So it got kicked. It was like, no, we're not appealing this, and so he's now going to the High Court, hoping to get an answer.
That's
personally,
correct.
I think the High Court should do the same thing and say no.
Tell them to get fucked. You fiddle with young kids, that's what you get. He was charged in June with historical sexual assault offences by Australian police in the state of Victoria. For those who don't know, it's a pretty worldwide story, but obviously huge here at home. He has strenuously denied all of the allegations, according to The Guardian Australia.
Yeah, but who's actually going to say that they did something like that? Like, let's be honest. If
Yeah,
you're
that's it. I mean,
a highly profile person and your whole entire world is about to be turned on its head because you've been caught out, like, no one would even say that they were guilty to that, I don't think.
No, that's it. And being a religion, I guess it's even worse. I mean, you look at it from the point of view as, these guys are operating tax-free and have done for a long time around the world. They've got, probably the richest organisation in the world title. And they're very well known for their inappropriate sexual acts with minors, especially young males or boys.
Another disclaimer, like, obviously not all...
No, obviously
people,
not. Yeah.
That's just like saying any person in power is a sexual predator.
Just Craig.
Yeah. But I think that, he definitely deserves what's coming from him. He has been found guilty in the Court of Australia.
Yes.
Like, he has been found to have done what
Or
he has
didn't
been
deny.
alleged. No,
he never
exactly.
denied doing it. He just said, no, it wasn't as bad as you made it out to be.
Yeah. No.
I recently watched with Sarah actually a film called Spotlight, which is about the Boston Catholic Church scandal, which is a huge part of history. I definitely recommend it. If you got Netflix, watch Spotlight. Fantastic. Real life story type thing based on a true story, all that nonsense. Very good film. It's got some great actors in it as well, but all about the issues in Boston that were uncovered by the Boston Globe, the newspaper, and what they thought was about 90 priests in their local parish
Oh my
of Boston
God.
ended up being about 200, I think over 250.
Man, I thought 90 was bad. 200, holy shit.
They initially, I think, and it's just off the top of my head, I think they were investigating like 6, and then they got statistics off someone else that ended up being 90. That was like a paper that was written, a journal article. And then at the end of the entire investigation, ended up being over 250
That's
Catholic
disgusting.
priests.
Like, that's like a proper underground child trap or whatever it is. Like,
It was absolutely deplorable and settled cases, that kind of thing. And I mean, look, I actually went to a Catholic high school for, 1 year? I think
Did
around 1
you
year.
just say Jesus?
No, yeah, Jesus. Yeah,
Pardon the pun.
around 1 year, and it was an all-boys school, and we had Catholic priests. Thankfully, I wasn't a victim of any of these crimes. Sadly, without naming names, it has been a part of my family in one way or another, and I just can't believe that people get away with this. And the thing that disturbs me is the people that accept payouts and that sort of thing from the Catholic Church. I mean,
Hush money.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, looking back at that Boston Globe thing of when the law was like 20 grand, I think might have even been less, like 16 grand payout, as that was law. That was what you got. If you were found to be, if you were the victim and the perpetrator was found to be guilty, the court would make them pay you like 16 grand. Might have been more, might have been a bit less, around that amount.
That's pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Like, really, like when you think about it, that especially makes me really sad when we're talking about children. You've taken someone's innocence.
Absolutely.
You've abused their trust, their safe space, everything. And those people, they will either never have that again, or it will take an insane amount of time for them to build that again.
Absolutely.
And I think that you can't put a price on that.
Nope.
That's just disgusting.
No, that's it. And sadly, so many people have gotten away with it. And the biggest thing about the Boston case was that all of these priests that were found to have committed an offence, the church knew about it, just moved them to a different parish. It moved them to a different region.
It's not like they're talking out of school. They're actually behaving in
absolutely.
a way that is an actual crime.
That's it. And covered up by the people in charge. It would be no different than if you're a police officer committing the same offence, the commissioner of the police going, oh no, we'll just move you to another town.
But that's the reality of it all, isn't it? Like, the world we live in is so super corrupt that it doesn't matter where you are, that people in positions of power will continually abuse it. That's
it. But I mean, you look at the current Pope and the George Pell case, and the fact that the Pope hasn't denounced Cardinal Pell, he hasn't denounced his cardinalship, whatever you call it, and is basically standing up for him, saying, no, he's okay, even though he's been found guilty in a court of law, which I find so disgusting and so deplorable, despite his age, despite what people may think about him. It's not an attack on the Catholic Church, because there are good Catholics, there are good Catholic priests, there are good people in religion. Now, as you know, Em, I'm an atheist, and I have been for a long time. I grew up with religion being not forced upon me at all, but it was always an option, always something that I was interested in learning about. But I made a decision a long time ago that Jesus wasn't for me.
Yeah.
And, I've been very science-based and very evolution-based since then, and I believe in things that I can see, touch, hear, feel, that sort of thing. And
like a ghost on your elbow.
That's it. Well, look, I've got more belief in ghosts than I do in Cardinal George Pell.
In the Australian justice system.
Exactly. So, look, sadly, he's going to be appealing again. I mean, look, it's one of those very difficult things because a lot of people don't even associate the term pedophile with these priests. They just think of it as almost a crime of its own, but that's what these people are. They are pedophiles.
They are pedophiles.
Interfering with young boys.
They're sexual predators.
Without, removing women from the subject, sadly, it has been a majority young boys.
But that's why I think sexual predator actually works the best, because I think that sounds disgusting.
Absolutely.
I think and as sad as what this is, I think that as a society, we have kind of grown immune to the word pedophile. It's still a bad word. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it has the impact that sexual predator has.
It's probably a mixture of people, and this is sound horrible, people not having an intimate understanding of it. So not knowing or having a feeling towards someone that's happened to you, that you know personally.
Yeah.
As I said, knowing someone that has happened to personally, without taking the law into your own hands, you do want to beat the shit out of the nearest Catholic priest.
Yeah.
Which, is not correct either, because as I said, there are some very nice Catholic priests. There are some very well-meaning priests in every religion, or, the ones that have priests anyway.
Yeah.
But it's not just young men. They also uncovered that a lot of nuns are victims of sexual assault by priests as well, which is actually quite an alarming number. And considering the celibacy of becoming a priest, the oath they take, or the vow they take, whatever you want to call it,
the commitment to God,
exactly, is just as bad now.
And not to mention that they're removing that from the nun as well. The nun does a full pledge to
absolutely
Jesus or God, whoever it is. I'm not Catholic, so I can't tell you, but that they're ruining how they perceive their own service to a higher being. And I think that's disgusting too. It's someone in absolute power taking full advantage of that and
using
not even
control.
And just not thinking of the repercussions. What is it? Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
That's it. Sounds good to me. Look, let us know what you think about that. It's a very difficult topic to discuss. We all have vastly different feelings. I actually think we probably almost have all the same feelings, but there are some people that are further involved with religion than myself, and so probably further less involved than myself as well. Having that interaction with religion myself, I never had a problem. I mean, I had, as far as I know, I had brothers at the high school that I went to that were essentially your priest of the school type thing, that there was nothing dodgy going on with me, which is great, but that's not to say there wasn't anything dodgy going on with anyone else. So what else have we got? What else have we got to talk about?
Something a little lighter.
I hope so. We've got vinyl. Everyone loves some vinyl. I'm actually sitting next to 150 vinyl albums next to me right now that I just plugged my record player back into my speaker so I can jam out to some vinyl. We might do that when we record later on Thursday.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love vinyl. Vinyl records are on track to outsell compact discs by 33%. 490%. They've risen. For the first time in 33 years, they're going to outsell CDs.
Can I just ask a question?
You can.
Who the hell buys a compact disc anymore? I can't even remember the last time I bought a CD.
Oh, no, actually the same. I'm trying to... probably independent stuff. I buy more off bands that I go and see.
Yeah, but don't you just, find out where they sell their music online?
No, I've got friends that I will buy their physical copy because I know that things like tours and especially artists that have connections that might be a signed artist or something like that where they're not getting 100% of their sales, I'll buy a CD so that they get a majority of the money back.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's pretty cool. I don't think anything really compares to the sound of a vinyl. I think that it's just like that popping noise of like
the
crackle,
the warmth.
like, yeah. I don't know. I have a friend who his parents have like 6 milk crates full of old vinyl.
Yes. Isn't the milk crate great for carrying vinyl?
It is. And, my mum I think she had 20 of them when we first moved to Queensland, and she sold them all, which makes me so mad. But
That bitch.
Oh, I know. But, like, so my friend, I'll go back on track. Every time his parents go away, so there's a 30-year-old man living at home still.
Shout out.
I know, right? Anyway, I know he doesn't listen to the podcast, so not ashamed. He'll have a couple of drinks at his place, and he'll crack out the vinyl collection, and it's like, have a few beers, have a dance, and listen to Midnight Oil, or, what else has he got? He's got everything.
Bit of everything.
Everything. Like a lot of Australian rock, which is really cool, from the 70s and the 80s.
I know behind me I've got Beatles, Queen, AC/DC, Pink Floyd, like everything you can think of from 60s, 70s is pretty much sitting here ready to go.
You know what I want? And no one will know what this is at all. Yeah. I don't even know if you'll know. But I want the Sherbet collection.
Who doesn't know Sherbet? For fuck's sake.
Who's Sherbet, JD?
An English band.
No.
No. What's wrong?
You know a man called Daryl Braithwaite?
Unfortunately.
It was his band.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, I just taught you something.
Pronounced Sherbet. All it came up with was the actual treat. Sherbet was one of the most prominent and successful Australian rock bands of the 1970s. The classic lineup of Daryl Braithwaite on vocals, Tony Mitchell on guitar, Gareth Porter on keyboards, and Alan Sandow on drums, and of course, Clive Shakespeare. Isn't that a fucking great name?
He was
on guitar.
Awesome too. Clive Shakespeare is an amazing guitarist.
And there's the reason I don't know who they are. Because they're Australian.
Yeah. So you know who Skyhooks are?
Yes, I do.
Same time. So you were either a Skyhooks fan or a Sherbet fan.
See, Sarah, I think, likes Skyhooks. I think she's got, or was that Dr. Hook? One of the two.
Yeah, okay. I've actually seen Sherbet. Fun fact. We've totally gone off track.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Off track.
Sherbet Life album is my favourite because that was my mother's favourite and she played it to death. And really good music. Actually, for anyone listening, go to Sherbet on Spotify and put on Life and listen to the whole album because it's brilliant. But that's what I want on vinyl. That's like, I've been looking for it for a little while.
Well, if
I found
anyone
it once,
wants to buy Emma a copy
scratched.
of Sherbet, the Australian
It'll
band,
be way too
on vinyl,
expensive.
Probably
Tight
doesn't
ass
exist.
over here.
Look, the key points I'm reading here from CNBC.com are vinyl sales have increased by 55.8% from 2010 to 2011, and then 131.8% from 2011 to 2012. Furthermore, there was an 18.5% year-over-year increase in the sales of new vinyl from 2016 to 2017.
I think a lot more artists are actually putting music back on vinyl these days too. But I would be really interested to know how much a vinyl cost in like the 50s and the 60s and the 70s.
I actually think probably quite similar.
You reckon?
Maybe around the $20 to $30 mark.
Yeah, okay.
I would say, because a lot of vinyl, especially the good stuff, the old things that we appreciate now, around the $50 mark to $100 in some case, especially if you're looking like Beatles or along those lines.
I picked up the new Rolling Stones album in vinyl, and
They're
that
still
was like
alive?
$50
Shit.
Yeah.
The last one I bought was when I was in New York on my honeymoon. I bought the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack on vinyl because that was amazing.
I feel like you stuffed up there.
Why?
You should have bought it on tape.
They don't have it on tape.
Well, they should, because that's what the whole thing is listened to.
So, do you think cassette plays or cassettes have increased?
I don't know.
What do you reckon? If I Google it right now, this is part of our live
I would say
podcast.
no, because I feel like they've stopped making cassette players.
Statistics. I've just typed in cassette sales statistics. According to Nielsen Music, cassette album sales are up 23%, with 219,000 tapes sold in 2018 compared to 178,000 in 2017.
So they are being sold.
So are cassettes coming back? Are they the new vinyl? Oh my God.
Do you know what? I actually went to a gig maybe about, 10 years ago. I'm showing my age.
When you were 30.
Yeah. I was down in Sydney at Hot Damn. And
Hot Damn.
I watched this amazing band play, which I can't think of the name at the moment, but the way that they gave out their EP was on cassette, and I just thought it was the greatest thing. And one of my girlfriends bought it, and she had a cassette player in her car, and when we got back to Brisbane, that's all we listened to.
Yep.
It was so good.
Do you know what I have outside sitting on the table?
A cassette player?
I do. A Sony Walkman.
Oh, watch out.
I do. A cassette one, and I also have a Sony Discman, the CD player.
I never had one of those. I wasn't rich enough.
No, I had one, and then I was one of those kids that tried to get into the mini disc phase, and that was like a 10-minute phase.
I remember those things.
Yeah, they were like tiny little weird discs that didn't last very long.
That sat on the inside.
Yeah,
part.
you could open your computer, and where you put your CD-ROM, it had a little like divot into the CD shape where you put the mini disc, and sometimes they would release like computer software and that on mini disc, but it was mainly for music that came out. But didn't last long, and the iPod came out shortly after, or MP3 player came out shortly after, I should say.
Oh, I had the tiniest little MP3 player.
Back when you could fit like 20 songs on, you're like, yeah. Cost me $200, but I can fit a CD on there.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, why not?
Basically. How funny.
Well, that's a cool story. So what I thought I'd move on to next, no segue whatsoever, because this is just completely off the cassette and vinyl topic. Ghost Tour. Em did the Ghost Tour back in August, and we didn't get it on the podcast because I didn't finish editing it because I was up to 1 a.m. doing editing anyway, and I was tired, and fuck that.
Yes, well, excuses.
Did you see a ghost?
I didn't see a ghost.
No. Did you have an experience of any kind?
I got real goosebumpy.
Did your butt tingle?
No. My whole, all my arms and my legs and my face went real goosebumpy. Like, we were in that back part of the cemetery.
Yes.
And she was talking about the young boys that were living there. That have been laid to rest around there. I know, it was a bit creepy. And I was full goosebump. And then I looked at Hayley, who was with us, and I said to her, I'm kind of goosebumping right now. And she goes, oh my God, my entire body is like full tingle. And I was like, what? And she goes, I was just standing here going, what the fuck is happening to me? And you tell me that you're goosebumping. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird because I've known this girl for 10 years and not once have we ever goosebumped at the same time. So I thought that was a bit crazy. But you said that you got touched on the elbow. I
did. Now, people are going to choose whether they want to believe me or not. I wouldn't say I'm spiritual at all. I have a belief in a type of afterlife, but my belief is that we are energy and we transfer into other energy when we leave. My understanding is the same as most normal forward-thinking people, is that I don't fucking know because I haven't died yet.
Yeah.
So I'm still here living my current life.
Living your best life.
Living my best life.
Yeah.
And I can only understand what I've lived. And the experience I had on the night was we were told the story, and look, I'm pretty sure she was pandering, but I don't know because I wasn't running the Ghost Tour and I don't know much about the history, but we were told that the particular area we were going to, tall people should steer fucking clear of it. Now, I'm 6'3". I was clearly the tallest fucking person there, which was great. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. And I wanted to oppose what she was saying, go and run off into this area of trees. It's like, if you go there, you're going to get beaten the shit out of by some ghost. This is essentially what she said. And I didn't do that because I was like, no, because if in, some weird mystical universe, this is all true and I get the shit beaten out of me by a ghost, I'm going to be the idiot that ran over there.
Yeah.
So I thought, no, I won't do that. So I just walked with the group and we're standing in the circle and we do the minute of silence. For these kids that were unfortunately taken away a little bit early than they should have been. I can't remember how old she said she was, but I'm pretty sure they were younger than teenagers. I think it was around the age of 10, 12 or something like that.
8 and 10 I think
8
she
and
said.
10,
yeah.
Okay. So I'm standing there and being the introvert I am when I'm in huge groups of people that I don't fucking know, I got squeezed on the arm, and look, you can say whatever you want. You can say, yeah, bullshit, James, whatever, bullshit, JD.
You did it yourself.
I did. No, I did on purpose. But yeah, something squeezed my elbow, like a constant and increasing pressure and then slowly decreasing pressure, like something was like, fuck you type squeeze.
Yeah.
Like you would squeeze someone if you were trying to get their attention type thing.
Yeah.
And I just kind of stood there and went, oh, this is weird. This is not good. Hoping it wouldn't last too long because I'd just been playing with those water divination things and they were going insane with me.
Yeah, they were doing all kinds of weird,
they were doing
wacky
fucking
things.
circles and pointing at people, and I just wasn't even moving. Like, I was trying my hardest to stay as still as possible when those things were going off the chart. And again, I didn't want to bring this up to the ghost tour lady because I was like, you know, she's gonna
Don't talk to me.
Hey,
I don't want everyone to look at me.
yeah, look what's going on with him. He's doing the thing, and the thing's happening to him. I'm like, oh, I don't want that. I don't need attention.
That's so funny.
I do. I secretly need attention, but I was like, okay, now I'm sufficiently freaked out. And then from there, we walk over to the fucking horse area where we're told that someone's like recently been in and fucking killed all the horses.
It was really fucked.
Then we go to the Jewish cemetery where we're not allowed to go because the Jews are better than everyone else, obviously. And then we go over to the Islamic area where we get to see some genuine Islamic graves,
which is kind of confronting.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit. I was interested to see that because it was different. I haven't seen it before, so
I didn't understand. Yeah, no, hold on. I'm thinking about the Greek Orthodox ones.
You're thinking about the gigantic tombs.
Yeah, like I'm talking, you know, the
gold
fresh
chains
burials.
on them.
So the fresh burials had just a clump of dirt just sitting on top of the grass, which was only in the Greek Orthodox area, but I think that was because they were going to put a tomb.
Yes, exactly.
On
So
top
they
of
don't
it.
bother burying you 6 feet deep because you're putting a giant marble tomb around
on top,
you,
yeah.
basically.
Whereas the Islamic graves are only buried 30 centimetres underneath.
Yeah, short, and that's just how to say they don't get anything on top.
Yeah.
So there's some very confronting truths that we learnt about death, aside from anything.
And the photos of the dead people is what got me.
Oh, yeah. And to know that still happens, I was like, oh,
yeah.
I don't want to
I think,
please don't anyone ever take a photo of me when I'm dead.
no.
I don't need that.
I think one of the things, and I actually spoke to my dad about this after.
Yep.
Because he was asking me how he was really intrigued and I bring it up in the interview that I do with her. So he went to the quarantine station down in Sydney.
Yes.
And he had the most outrageous experience. And he said to me, if you're going to do a ghost tour again, go somewhere where someone's died. Don't go where people are laid to rest. So, and then I was speaking to a girlfriend of mine on the weekend, and she's also done the quarantine station in Sydney. She walked out crying her eyes out. She said she screamed about 2 or 3 times because she was touched, her hair was pulled, and she was pinched. And then,
I bet she liked
cried.
it. She was like,
no,
baby.
No.
Come on, ghost. Spank me next.
Ghost sex. Just FYI, there's like a really bad ghost porn, and it's hilarious. Just look up Ghostbusters. It's just the greatest thing in the world. Anyway, there should have been one of our topics to talk about. But yeah, so that's 2 accounts now of the quarantine station. So I'd be really interested to try that as something else.
We should go to another one. I think the jail ones would be quite cool because those are people that have died while imprisoned.
Yeah, well, Boggo Road Jail, which is like a huge jail up here in Queensland.
Yeah, I've been told that one's good.
I went during the day with my sister and my mum.
Yep.
And mum felt like she was going to vomit the whole time. I didn't tell you this. I felt like I was going to be sick for 3/4 of the ghost tour the other night.
Were you moist?
No, I'm sure Sarah was so.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so the Boggo Road Jail, even during the day, that is full on. Like,
well, we should do that at night.
I reckon that'd be pretty cool. That. But they've got some crazy
history. We should take Craig there because Craig
tours.
seems to just get away with shit.
Yeah. Or maybe we can like get Craig's future told or something.
Yeah, we could do that. Let's do that.
Yeah. So anyway, it was really, really cool. I strongly encourage anyone to at least go on one ghost tour or watch Ghost Adventures.
Plug for the Ghost Adventure show or Paranormal Activity, what do they call it?
Paranormal Lockdown, yes. Yep. That's really good too.
Okay.
But yeah, make sure you tag them in as my recommendation.
I will.
Because like that,
Emma recommends something paranormal hunting people.
Oh, and Cockatoo Island. Really, anything, I reckon.
How many
anything,
cocks?
Cockatoo. Anything in Australia that has settlement history.
Yep.
I think would be like the place to go.
Well, at the end of the day, let's play your interview with Wendy from Lantern Ghost Tours.
Yay!
Yay!
Hey regulars, we are joined by Wendy from Lantern Ghost Tours. We have just done a ghost tour of the Southport Cemetery on the Gold Coast. Thanks for having us, Wendy.
Oh, lovely to have you.
So how long have you been doing the ghost tours for?
Oh, a few years now, 3 years I think.
Fantastic. And how have you felt about the experience as the time's gone through?
As the time's gone through, I think when I first came to do it, it was just a platform as an actor. And then after that, I started having a few experiences of my own. And of course, the people bring their experiences too. And so now I could say that I'm a believer.
Yeah, 100%. So speaking about experiences, what has been one of the most scariest experiences you've had to date?
I think the most scariest experiences was to have this man standing behind me, and I actually thought he was one of the guests. And so I turned and told him, oh, could you move back a little bit, please? Because he was really very close to me. And then I realised that this person wasn't even real. And I'm not quite sure what the other guests were thinking of me at that time, but I had to explain to them, I'm terribly sorry, but I had a little visit from somebody, and he was very, very scary. He frightened me a lot. Yeah,
not a nice energy.
It wasn't nice at all. No.
Yeah. We'll lighten it up. What's been the funniest experience?
There's been quite a few funny things happening, like the little girl, for instance, that I was telling you about earlier, the little ghost that follows me around. Apparently, she goes up and tickles people, and I have so much laughter in a little group of people laughing in the middle of a cemetery. I've got to go back and I've got to say, excuse me, but they're all dead here. What's so funny? And I said, well, we're being tickled by somebody.
Oh, I love that. That is so good. It must take a lot to kind of understand all the history that sits within the grounds. Is that one of the most fascinating sides to your role here?
I think so, but not just that, but I have a very huge history here on the Gold Coast, so I actually have relatives in here. And so for me, it's a little bit closer to home than what it would be for anybody else. So I have a connection in here, and I feel that connection.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's what led you to starting to work for Ghost Lantern Tours?
I was very excited when they asked me to do this because I've grown up with the spirit world. Like, my mother was a psychic, and she was always telling me, there were people around us constantly, and I had 10 people watching over me constantly, and it was almost like, not in the room with me, are they though? When I'm getting dressed and all that, and so I'm no stranger to the spirit world. I've sort of grown up with it, so I feel very comfortable here.
Yeah, definitely. And tonight we had a few different instruments that you handed around for the guests to walk around with. Would you like to give us a little bit of an understanding as to what those instruments were and what they do?
Well, the water diviners, they're very interesting to me because they don't just find water, and look how cleverly they do find water. So it doesn't surprise me at all that, you can use them for other things, and they work very well with the spirits in this cemetery.
Yeah, definitely. I was holding one just before at the end, and I had it throughout the night, and it was doing all weird things, but throughout the end, and JD had the same thing, where it was just like spinning around, and it was just yeah, and it just kept, I was laughing because I was like, oh, here it goes again. So
and it's not easy for that to spin neither. If you hold it correctly, it's not easy for it to spin.
I started off with a closed fist, and then I was like, okay, maybe there's somehow that I'm making this. So I just like one by one, I was taking all my fingers off it, and I was just holding it between my index and my thumb, and I was just like, this is phenomenal. Like, what is going on here?
And it was still going, right?
Yeah,
It depends on who's holding them. You know, like you can pass it around from you where it's working, and then hand it over to a few other people, and it won't do anything, and then bring it back to you, and it'll go crazy again because the spirits know who the energy is.
Maybe I'm a little magical.
I don't know. I got 2 electric shocks off it. Now, if you're holding the metal, you're not supposed to get electric shocks, but I got 2 distinct shocks come through the thing. You'd feel it go up my hand. That was very weird.
It's very strange. Yeah, definitely. So you're quite familiar with the spirits that are walking around here and kind of have us as guests in their temporary home. I don't know how temporary it may be, but yeah.
I'm very mindful of them, actually, and like I like to say, like you heard me earlier, say to guests, like, before I enter the cemetery, I like to be respectful, and before you guys arrive, I stand at the gates and I just say, hello, it's me again, coming in with a ghost tour, okay, not doing any harm, thank you very much. And when I leave, I pretty much do the same thing and say, thank you very much for letting me be here.
Yeah.
So it's just my way of feeling okay about it all.
I suppose you do the same thing if you walk into somebody's house too.
Well, yeah, be respectful. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you could go to any ghost location in the world, where would you go?
Oh, I would have to say Egypt, into a pyramid. I would love that.
Yeah, definitely. It's an ancient world, that one, so I can totally understand.
Can I just butt in there? Is there anyone that you would avoid at all costs if you were invited in to say, come to this location, very well known, and you would just say, no, I'm not interested in having that sort of energy?
Are you talking about a person?
No, a place.
A place. Yeah, probably Germany, for my own probably reasons,
Yeah, I think that's pretty well said. I think everybody has a very different connection in one way or another, and some people are quite affected just by stepping foot.
With Egypt, the reason I said Egypt, I have this thought that I used to be a handmaiden for Cleopatra.
Oh, wow.
In my past life. And so I have that connection to Egyptian, a very strong connection, spiritually to it. So that's why I picked Egypt.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool. And what would be your biggest word of advice for any novices out there wanting to try their hand at communicating with ghosts?
Look, I think it's something that we should always do. It's like, why is it taboo? You know, I mean, I speak to my mother every day. She's dead, but I speak to her every day. I mean, what's wrong with reaching out to people that you used to love, what you still love? What's wrong with that, you know? Yeah. I think always hold those people dear to you no matter what, and I do.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. I say it all the time. The more you talk to them and the more you keep them around, the longer that they'll stay around, you know? So... Yeah. I had a little thing happen today, actually. It was very weird. I had this overwhelming, and I knew I was doing a ghost tour tonight, and I had this overwhelming feeling, and I thought, oh no, what's happening here? And I was driving. I wanted to cry, actually, and then a voice said to me, call your son. Okay. I called my son, and he said, are you all right, Mum? I said, no, I'm very emotional right now. And he said, oh, that might be because I'm at a friend's house and we're doing a big memorial about all the people who have been affected, a great effect in our lives. And I was doing one with my nan. And you must have felt that, Mum. And I'm like, oh, okay, I can rest easy now. Yeah,
I think we're all in tune with it, really. It's just that some choose to switch it off and some don't.
Yeah, agreed. definitely agree. You really remind me of my own mother. It's very interesting having this
that's
conversation.
Is she nice?
She is. She's lovely. No, she's not. Stop it. She'll hit you for that. Oh, dear. Well, thank you so much for having us tonight, Wendy.
Oh, thanks for coming. It was fun.
Yeah, we had a really good time.
Yeah.
A number of times I had goosebumps. Those diviners were just going off tap, and even the little Geiger meter thingy.
Geiger meter.
Yeah.
It goes off stupid, doesn't it?
Oh my god!
Did you hear a sound coming from it at all? Because they don't make a noise.
No, it was beeping.
They don't make noises, those things.
Wow, okay.
Mine does.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to part with that one.
I've done a couple of recordings on my phone, so I'd be very interested to listen to them to see if anything's come up. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
I never thought of doing that. I should do that.
Yeah, there's a show I like to watch called Ghost Adventures, and they take place in America, and you find that a lot of the towns are haunted in one way or another. Some are by very nasty people and some are by some very cheeky ones, and there was this one episode where they went into this building that at one point in time was where all the celebrities would go, and they'd have a drink and a couple of cigars, and Charlie Chaplin used to hang out there. The man that trained the dog that was on The Little Rascals, he used to hang out there. I think he actually was shot there, but just the activity that they had in that one episode was just amazing. So just being able to...
Definitely I believe that there's certain places, like, you know, even Surfers Paradise, like I've done some ghost tours in Surfers Paradise, and it's funny because people look at me and they go, "Where's your bus?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't have a bus." And they go, "Are we walking in Surfers?" I'm like, "Yeah, well, that's where all the ghosts are."
Yeah.
"Oh, we thought you were going to drive us around in a bus." I'm like, no. And you know, even though this is a cemetery and that is streets, I find it more terrifying in Surfers Paradise doing a ghost tour than I do here in a cemetery.
Yeah, I can understand that.
History.
Yeah, definitely. My dad actually did the quarantine station down in Sydney, and he said that was phenomenal. He had a couple of taps on the shoulder and his elbow was pinched, and he felt sick at one point that he nearly threw up, and it was just the stories that he had from that. I'd be very interested to do that one too. I think
places are a big part of the spirit world. Certain places, definitely.
And you know, everything's made up of energy too. So you know, like I see so many things. You know, you've got wood and metals and anything that comes from the earth. It all absorbs energy, and we're all made from energy. So you know, I think that there's a lot of synergies, funny enough.
Well, that's my theory, and that's why all these instruments work so well, because I believe the spirit world is filled with energy, and that's what it's all about. And that's why, you know, like I say, the two young fellas that I see quite frequently over there on the left-hand side, it's so fast.
Yeah.
It's like, don't blink because you'll miss it. You know what I mean? It's really, really quick. And that's the energy. Yeah. Energy is real fast.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and chat with us.
Thank you.
We really enjoyed ourselves.
Where can our listeners find Lantern Ghost Tours online?
You can go to the Facebook page, or you can just Google Lantern Ghost Tours.
And obviously the Gold Coast is not the only location. What other locations have you got?
Oh, they're all over the place, actually. Surfers Paradise is one at Mount Tambourine, of course, down in Melbourne and Sydney. They've got them as well. So they're pretty much starting to splatter themselves all. I think even London, So, you Google them and they come up, and there they are. And you can have a look and see some of the weird photographs that, like those two girls tonight, they're going to be sending us.
Oh, those photos you showed us, a few of them creeped me out big time. They were, I'm not really worried about dead people. They don't scare me all that much, but those photos just had an eeriness to them that wasn't very nice.
No.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thanks for coming.
Back to the music now, and we welcome back Fergus Daly with his catchy tune, You've Gotta See. Woo!
always alone. There'll be no one to listen when you're crying on the phone. There'll be nobody by your side when the time comes. Cause you gotta see the reality between you and me. It's not something to be particularly proud of. Listen to me. I'm not your enemy. You can break free of the psychological chains that bind us. You're supposed to use with power, but it's a transient thing. The true source of which you deny with your ring. Live for tomorrow, but God knows what it will bring. Gambling on our heartbeat is a dangerous thing. Gambling on a beating heart is so revealing, yeah. You gotta see the negativity. Gotta agree. It's not the most becoming trait. Please listen to me. I'm not your enemy. You can break free of the psychological chains that bind us.
I've got life figured out, but I'm still living at home. Pillar of community, I sure put on the show. Got no shortage of friends, but I'm always alone. There will be nobody to listen when I'm crying down the phone.
You tell me to be quiet, stop by horsing around, as if I've got no failings, got no faults of my own. It's easier to see farther from higher ground. I've got no business thinking I control the first stone. Yeah, we gotta see a reality between you and me. It's not something to be particularly proud of. Listen to me. We're not enemies. We can break free of the psychological chains that bind us.
Hello, Henry speaking.
Hi, Henry. It's Emma calling from Regular Radio. How are you?
Hey, Emma. Good, thanks.
Is this Duncan?
Yeah, this is Duncan. Yeah, sorry. It's just a good... I just like confusing everyone, don't I?
That's it. Is Henry your real name?
Yes.
Ah.
There you go. Fun fact for you.
Yeah, and I did see... It wouldn't happen to be Clark as your surname, is it?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Look, one Clark to another. That's it.
Oh, well,
yeah.
you got an E in the end?
I surely do. We're full Clarks, us Clarks.
Proper Clarks. Yeah, none of this, no E.
I know. What my father says that we're the complete end of the scale. The others have got a little bit of something missing. It's up to the imagination to figure out what that is.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Oh dear. All right, well, I'll jump into some questions because I no doubt now know that JD will probably edit all of this part out.
Sure, yeah. I can leave it in there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Okay, so before we get to talk about all the cool music stuff that you do, one amazing achievement that you have pretty cool bragging rights to is that you have eaten the most Samboy atomic tomato chips back in 2017. So, is this actually true?
No, I made that one up, but let's roll with it. I think it's a fun fact that let's just say if there's a packet put in front of me on the table, it'll be gone pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're one of my favourite chip flavours, that's for sure.
And they're pretty hard to come by, I think, these days.
Yeah, I don't. The main grocery channels don't stock them, so it's things like sort of the odd IGA and Farmer Jack's, but Coles and Woolies, I don't have them. So when you do see them, it's like, yes, win.
That's it. I was very intrigued about that because I was like, how much is the most?
Yeah, I'm sure there's someone out there that actually, has a real quantity where they've probably eaten, packets, and it's a proper thing. But I just pride myself in being a big fan.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yep, I totally get that. Okay, so back to the serious stuff. Can you tell us who you are as an artist and what is your music style?
Sure. My name is Duncan Saige, and I'm a indie folk pop singer-songwriter from Perth / Margaret River.
Yeah.
So I perform as a band, and I also perform solo depending on the gig. So yeah, that's sort of the vibe. It's sort of, I guess there's certain elements to help describe the sound. It's sort of a mashup hybrid sort of Jeff Buckley, Crowded House, some early Coldplay, Supergrass, Grizzly Bear. They're sort of artists that people have told me it sounds like. I don't necessarily go out to try and sound like someone, but some of them are direct influences as well, and some aren't. So it's just whatever comes out the other end of all that. Yeah,
definitely get that. I've had a bit of a listen to over the last few days, and it's definitely pretty chill. It's quite cool. So
yeah.
And
most of it is.
Yeah. So I've seen that you played our Falls Festival in 2018. How was that for an experience?
Yeah, it was awesome. The highlight would have been standing in the VIP section, having a cocktail, looking at Liam Gallagher singing across the park, wearing his big poncho kind of thing in 40-degree heat. So that was, I'm a big fan of Liam Gallagher too.
Yeah.
So that was a really cool experience. Really fun to be amongst it.
Bit of a pinch me moment.
Yeah, I didn't meet any of the big guys. Obviously, I was sort of shoved to the side, but yeah, it's always fun to be a part of festivals, whether you're pleb down the bottom or further up. So it's just a good buzz and it's really fun.
Yeah, definitely. So speaking about festivals, have you got any more lined up for the future?
Not at this point. The big scoop for the news is that I am moving to London in about 6 weeks. So some of the festivals are on hold at the moment. So I'm just doing this tour run, and then gonna sort of see how things go after that.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Have you got a goal in mind being over there, or you just gonna go over and see what happens?
No, not just really just see what happens, and who knows? Like I'll definitely still gig over there and start again, but I don't know really. I'll just see how I go. The plan is to definitely kick things off over there and start playing some more gigs and music in London. But there's no sort of specific plan. It's not like I've signed to a label or anything like that over there. It's just to explore new things, meet new people,
test the waters.
Test the waters. Yeah,
that's awesome. That is so cool. So before you leave the beautiful state of Western Australia, what is the music scene like over there?
It's good, like I'm definitely not leaving here because the music scene's no good, that's for sure. It's more, an opportunity to see what else is out there. It's a big world out there. But it's good. There's a lot of good musos coming up at the moment and gigging around and continually putting out new music and surprising us all. So, and some of the bands are working pretty hard. It's not easy. To keep plugging away, so
definitely.
It's definitely good. I'm going to catch a few of the guys. Two of my mates playing in a band on Thursday. Go watch them for a launch local. So there's always plenty to go see. Even if you're not really looking, you can stumble across it, and if you are looking, there's plenty to sink your teeth into.
That's awesome. And what would be your favourite venue in WA?
Oh, it's probably Mojo's. Yeah, probably couldn't go past Mojo's. Not only does it sound pretty good, but it's a good vibe. Yeah, good vibe there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is really cool. And we're going to play your single Under the Weather next. Can you tell us a little bit about this single?
Yeah, it's a different sound. I've definitely gone a bit more sort of indie rock with this one. Compared to sort of the older previous material I put out, it's very, relatively chill, sort of ballads, soft rock kind of stuff. This is a bit more energetic, a bit more intense, and a nice sort of powerful riff at the start. The content of it is a kind of like reflecting on a, relatively low points coming out of a breakup, breaking my collarbone, just a few things are like, oh, that sucks. And then knowing the whole time when those things happen that, things will work out and you'll get through it. And then when they did and you look back and you go, oh, it was, sort of almost proud of yourself. And also, it's kind of a reflection on how that period went and how things always work out. So that's kind of, I'm generally a pretty optimistic guy, considering when things go wrong, generally they do work themselves out somehow. So
exactly.
That's kind of what it's about. And when you're feeling a bit under the weather and things are a bit shit, you can just have a bit of belief that it will work out one day.
Yeah, that's it. And, you look back in 10 years and that little, it really was just a little speed bump, like in the grand scheme of things. So, that's really cool.
And it makes you definitely a better person, if everything is really easy and they just come to you and, nothing goes wrong, things get stale, things get boring, you don't develop as a person, and so you need those challenges to help you, move forward and grow and mature. 100%. So
it's so nice to hear that coming from somebody else. That's really cool. That's awesome. And lastly, where can our regulars find you?
Right now, I'm getting ready to go watch Book of Mormon, so I'll be at Crown Casino late tonight. If they want to find me.
Oh, that's going to be so good, by the way.
I haven't seen it, so I'm frothing. But generally, all my music and information is all on social media, all the digital streaming platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, the usual spots. Even if you just Google Duncan Saige, there'll probably be a list of pages that direct you to everywhere you need to go.
That's some good SEO you've got going there.
Hopefully.
Thanks,
Google.
Definitely. And have a good night.
Great. Thanks, Emma. Good to chat.
Right. You too, Duncan. See ya.
See ya. Bye. Hello, my name's Duncan Saige, and you're listening to Regular Radio.
I was so under the weather. I'm starting to hold myself together. I was feeling so under the weather. My scars are fading. I'm upgrading to someone better. Part of me is now moving forward. There'll be no more pain riding with me. I'm so under the weather. I'm starting to hold myself together. I was feeling so under the weather. The skies are fading. I'm upgrading to someone better. Now surprising myself sets me free. You're only part of my reflection. It's the upgrade of me that I see. A part of me will always be hurting when I look back and bear watching you. Silver lining is my lighting, 'cause there's nothing worse that I went through. I was so under the weather. I'm starting to hold myself together. I was feeling so under the weather. The skies are fading. I'm upgrading to someone better. I was so under the weather. You sucked it like that on me when you wanted something better. I'm so under the weather. My skies are fading. I'm upgrading to someone better.
Fox is here to surprise you all the way from Dubai with Ola.
I don't die on this one.
I take one step, it ain't like heaven fall on top, yeah, boy. It's like I'm standing all alone. Every day now they seem so like they carry all ball put now for my head, whoa, whoa, whoa. That's how I'm feeling. Major pousse quand je suis en vie. Poussez. Donnons tout quand nous sommes en vie, wow, wow, wow. Donnez. Mais je pousse quand je suis en vie. Poussez. Donnons tout quand nous sommes en vie, wow, wow, wow. Donnez. Dis-moi, Diman, Choco, Chaka, DB, J, Anti, Zamba, on pousse, Diallo, on kill, saucé. Dis-moi, Diman, Choco, Chaka, DB, J, Anti, Zamba, on pousse, Diallo, on kill, saucé. Allo, may the bad wind pass go. Your dreams so Canada. One day I'd like to go shine. Allo, c'est molo poussons en solo. Oh yeah. Fight back, les punches come back. Que toi tu veux percer, les jaloux vous gâter. C'est pas ça qui m'arrêtera. I dey pull just can't far away. I can forget that, I no go can't well. All over the one I saw one blow. C'est petit demain ça va sortir. Wow. I can forget that, I no go can't well. All over the one I saw one blow. C'est petit demain ça va sortir. Wow. Dis-moi, Diman, Choco, Chaka, DB, J, Anti, Zamba, on pousse, Diallo, on kill, saucé. Dis-moi, Diman, Choco, Chaka, DB, J, Anti, Zamba, on pousse, Diallo, on kill, saucé. Allo, may the bad wind pass go. Your dreams so Canada. One day I'd like to go shine. Allo, c'est molo poussons en solo. Oh yeah.
I love pandas and I love Prime Panda. Their jazzy soul track, Glass Train, is actually JD's pick of the month.
Knows the night. Dry it dark, dry noon. Run a song that whispers you. Perhaps me too old. Thoughts are bold, thoughts are winning. So try. Thoughts are cold, wild nights swimming. Feel bright. Feel bright. about you. Perhaps me too. Shots are down, things are through. Though tomorrow brings a new. It brings us to thoughts are full, thoughts are winning. So try. Thoughts are cold, wild nights swimming. Feel right. Feel right. Still fine. Thoughts are cold, thoughts are full, thoughts are feel right. Feel right. Feel right. Hold on. Till dawn. Midnight songs. It's a strange moment when light is lightning. You still comfort there. Modern lovers, red door opens, but I forget shadows like you, finding the fever in only the new, thinking my weakness. I sips of you, I sips of you, I sips of. The shadows bring us ever closer to what you wanna do, what you wanna, what you wanna. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
Rock Shriller from Bangkok is not what you would expect. Enjoy their song, So It Goes.
Whatever kind of day it brings, don't build a wall around your heart. We can still talk anytime you want to, baby. Don't close the door and keep it locked. Don't kick me out, don't switch me out.
Me and you
Don't make the call, I saw it gone. Even though I'm handsome.
These guys are my pick of the month. Not only is their band name epic, but their song is amazing. This is Spaceman Africa, the musical, with Bondage Bob.
It's Christmas 2001, the first Christmas for Neville's son. Bought a gift for baby John, a toy unfit for a boy so young. But my present to John was the best bar none, a surprise to all, designed to stun. Soft toy bear, cuddly and fun, and the fun had just begun. Bondage Bob, the next heartthrob. Bondage Bob, from the novelty shop. Bondage Bob, he wears a leather top. Bondage Bob, from the novelty shop. With leather straps and underwear. The parents were there but they didn't care, and the grandparents, well, they were unaware. Bob the bear, super debonair, his love for handcuffs a real bugbear. You can't take him anywhere. Bondage Bob, the next heartthrob. Bondage Bob, from the novelty shop. Bondage Bob, he wears a leather top. Bondage Bob, from the novelty shop. I wear my leather and I walk the weather with whips and chains. I'll please with pain, let me ride you with the saddle, let me hit you with the paddle. Stay by my side, I'll keep you satisfied. Bondage Bob, next heartthrob. Bondage Bob, from the novelty shop. Bondage Bob, he wears a leather top. Bondage Bob, from the novelty shop.
Craig Jennifer Lawrence from Alabia is going to tickle you pink with some news now.
G'day, regular radio regulars. We're back with another edition of the news. I'm Craig Jennifer Lawrence of Alabia. Lots going on this month with oil field explosions and Iranian drone purchases and giant pandas dying in Thailand. But you've heard all that already. It's time for the real news. As always, this month we've got it all covered, including our feature interview with John Russell, who has his own record company and is reigniting everyone's love of cassette tapes and vinyl records. More about that a little bit later on. Let's get straight into our first story. And today, Green Day, Fall Out Boy and Weezer, three of the biggest acts in rock music, announced they will be heading out on the road together for the first time ever on the Hella Mega Tour, presented by Harley-Davidson. The global tour kicks off June 13, 2020 in Paris and will visit cities across Europe and the UK throughout the month, including Glasgow, London and Dublin. Produced by Live Nation, the 20-city North American outing will bring the bands to some of the most renowned stadiums. The The Interrupters will appear as special guests on the tour, and concert goers will see and experience the newest Harley-Davidson motorcycles, including the fully electric Livewire and their new exciting lineup of electric bicycles. In celebration of this announcement, all three artists are also thrilled to announce new singles, which will be the first taste of their respective forthcoming albums. All three singles are available now, and the respective albums are available for pre-order. Five-time Grammy Award-winning Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees Green Day unleashed their brand new single Father of All, which is the lead track on their forthcoming 13th studio album of the same name, out in February 2020. Formed in 1986 in Berkeley, California, Green Day is one of the world's best-selling bands of all time, with more than 70 million records sold worldwide and 10 billion cumulative audiovisual streams. Their 1994 breakout album Dookie, which sold over 10 million and achieved diamond status, is widely credited with popularizing and reviving mainstream interest in punk rock, catapulting a career-long run of #1 hit singles. In 2010, a stage adaptation of American Idiot debuted on Broadway to critical and commercial acclaim, and now they're taking the world stage once again with their new album and hella mega global stadium tour. For all the details regarding the Green Day tour, just head on over to our Twitter page @news_regular. Now on to our next story. If current trends hold, sales of vinyl records are set to outpace the sales of compact discs this year for the first time since 1986, according to the latest report from the Recording Industry Association of America. Continuing a change seen in previous reports, the mid-year 2019 data shows vinyl records earned $224 million in the first half of 2019, as Rolling Stone reported. That's in comparison to the $247 million of CD sales brought in during the same time. Should that gap continue to close, records should soon generate more cash than their optical disc counterparts. Listeners of classic rock, hard rock and heavy metal are often seen as prime consumers for vinyl records, leading rock heavyweights such as Ozzy Osbourne to plot mammoth new vinyl collections containing over 20 vinyl discs. Still, not everyone's on board with Vinyl Sledder's revolution. Earlier this year, Megadeth bassist David Ellefson said that vinyl sounds like shit to him. Of course, the surge in vinyl sales is still just a drop in the bucket. Paid subscriptions to streaming services represented the lion's share of all music industry revenues at 62%, compared to vinyl's total revenues of just 4% in the first half of 2019. But the swing continues at music consumption's transformation. Last year, for the first time since 2011, physical albums outsold digital downloads, with CDs and vinyl moving $200 million more in sales than downloads. Now, regulars, let's stay on this topic for a moment because we're about to give a call to John Russell, founder of 4000 Records. Just like JT bringing sexy back in the noughties, one local legend, John Russell, is making cassettes cool again, minting Brisbane bands on tape and vinyl via his record label, known as 4000 Records. An avid music lover with eccentric taste, John is a friendly enigma who spent years working tirelessly behind the scenes in various iterations, including a stint running a management and booking agency, and cataloguing Brisbane's music history. For a little more on this story, let's give him a call.
Hello, this is John.
Hi John, it's Craig calling from Regular Radio. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
That's good, not too bad, thanks. I guess if you just wouldn't mind telling us, obviously Sony only stopped manufacturing cassette Walkmans 10 years ago after making them for 30 years. So tell us, why tapes and vinyl? Like, what was your motivation to get started?
Well, tapes for me, I'm one of the weird ones who has not stopped. I've still got my Walkman from high school, and I use it frequently when I take dog for a walk. Every afternoon I'll pick it up, pick a tape, and take the next half hour to listen through an album.
Yes, okay.
And so it's just literally a personal preference. It's also reasonably cheap. You can do small runs. So with vinyl, you tend to, I'm dealing with local artists, emerging artists who aren't selling a whole bunch of units. So doing a small run of tapes means I'm not sitting around with boxes and boxes of unsold records under my bed. I can do a small run, sell them to avid fans at shows, and then move on to the next release. And
Yeah, fantastic. I'm assuming that it would be quite difficult to obtain some of the gear. Would you say it was difficult for you to get started or expensive to get into? How did you end up being able to source all the equipment?
I actually don't do it myself. I'm very much a hobbyist. I've got a full-time job. This is just, very, very much so a hobby. So there's a plant in Canada called duplication.ca, and they do everything. So I'm more of an advocate for the artists themselves. I'm pretty much just, I love this, I want to work with you, let's get the music out there. So the manufacturing, the recording, all that side of things is all kind of done for me. I'm more of a conduit for the music itself, I guess.
Yeah. Good. How did you end up spreading the word? Like, obviously, if this was a hobby of yours and you wanted to turn it into a bit of a business, how did you get the word out there that this was something that you were offering and that people could take advantage of it?
Just hustling. Like, I just went to shows, talk to bands. If someone kind of blew me away, I was like, look, I do this, let's sit down and have a chat. Because a lot of the bands that are starting out, they'll record themselves and then they'll just go, oh, we'll just chuck it on Bandcamp and hope for the best.
Yes.
Whereas I kind of say, look, I can do you one step better. I can, we can get some tapes done and I can do a bit of PR for you and be, like I said, be that kind of advocate for the music. Whereas, musicians don't tend to be the best pushers of their own art.
Yes.
So,
that's why they have managers.
Well, that's it, and I lack severely in that. I'm a new musician, but I'm very, very passionate about music. So this is a way that I can contribute and be a part of the scene and get involved, which makes me happy and seems to help the bands as well. So,
yep. That's excellent. That's good. Well, who are some of the best-known bands that you've worked with? So you're based in Brisbane, aren't you?
Yeah. Based in Brisbane. Our kind of shtick is that we only work with Brisbane bands. Like a very much, the aim of the label is very much to kind of shine a light on Brisbane artists and the scene itself. So all the bands I've worked with have been Brisbane bands. I'm not sure who would be the best known because I also work with bands of kind of across the spectrum genre-wise. So I've got, soul bands, prog metal bands, drone bands, so it's hard to say, but I'd say that probably the best known band might be the Double Happiness. They've had a couple of songs on Triple Z that have gone pretty well, and they're the first band whose shows I've been to where people have been singing along to their songs. So they know them well enough that they're like waiting for a song so they can rock out kind of thing.
Great.
But all our bands have their fans in their own right. But,
Okay. We've actually just in our news segment shared a story with our listeners about how vinyl sales are set to overtake CD sales in the next couple of years.
Sure.
Do you see the same type of revival happening for cassettes in the near future?
It's hard to say. I think the tapes have had a bit of a revival in the last 5 years or so. I think has been their kind of strong period. I think that's tapering off ever so slightly now.
Yes. I'm
not sure why. I'm very insulated in the local scene. So I'm not paying too much attention to what's going on kind of globally or nationally or I don't know. I think I feel like it's tapering off a little bit, but you've always got your avid fans and it's not as big as vinyl obviously, but there's always going to be the fans that'll dig the medium, and because we're doing such small runs, we're always going to find those people to sell out.
Yes. Yeah, I am a big cassette fan. I think they're so easy. They're reliable. The tape player is the unreliable part of it, which can become faulty. But the cassette itself is generally really easy to use. So
absolutely, and I love the fact that it's even more difficult to navigate than vinyl in so far as it kind of makes you listen to the album as a whole.
Yes.
You can't, if you want to skip forward, you kind of have to fast forward, stop. If you go too far, then you've got to get we'll just listen to the whole thing. And then,
very true. Yeah, very true.
I like that. Yeah.
So the name of your record label label is 4,000 records.
Yeah.
What's your long-term goal for it? Where do you see yourself heading with it in the long term?
That kind of side of things is quite selfish on my part. As long as I've got something that keeps me involved and I can kind of help the bands that I dig in the local scene, then I'm happy. Like, I don't see it going big guns or anything like that. Yeah, I'm happy for it to just be alive and give me somewhere to put my passion.
Yes.
So, no, I've got no real great goals. Yeah, I'm open to everything, but I'm happy to just cruise along with it.
Oh, that's fantastic. And just one more question: what was your favourite cassette growing up?
Oh man, I've got a couple. It's I'm going to show my age here, but I just played the single of that Scatman song.
Oh yes. A classic 80s, 90s?
I think early 90s.
Yeah.
Early 90s.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I think I ended up with 3 copies of that because I first burnt through the first 2.
Yes.
Yeah, I just fucking loved it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so it's got to be that.
Am I right in saying the more you play the same cassette over and over, the more likely that it's going to get chewed up? Is that how it worked?
I think so. I think it's the more abrasive you are with putting it in and out.
Yes.
Like, I think there's always the chance of if you're pulling it out a bit too haphazardly, you got a chance of the tape spooling along one of the pegs and just coming undone. So I think you got to be a little bit gentle with it.
Yes.
But they're definitely sturdy. But I don't think in terms of playing tapes to death, I don't think you can wear them out hugely.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
On a side
I'm not
note,
sure,
where does the average person buy a Walkman these days?
At the moment, it's got to be online. I think eBay's probably the best. I think there are some mods that are kind of manufacturing their own now. Like, you're starting to see more and more of like indie startup kind of companies. I think there's 2 or 3 I think there's one in Europe, one in America, and they've kind of started to manufacture their own. And I think Sony have just started manufacturing one of their models again.
Yes, after a 10-year break.
Sure. But yeah, right, yeah, because I've got 3 that I've just had forever and keep them in good nick and they go forever. But yeah, you follow stuff on Instagram and stuff, and there's always people showing their new stuff. So there's people are making them.
Yep.
I'm not sure how good they are, but I'm sure they're fine.
That's good. To finish off, did you want to give your webpage a bit of a plug? Where can we find out a little bit more?
Sure. Yeah, it's just 4,000 numerically records.com, and we're launching the label in Brisbane on the 5th of October at the Bearded Lady, which is also the album launch for our first release, which is Local Authority's debut album, which is fantastic.
Okay, excellent.
And we're
John,
on all the socials and all that,
Yeah, that's great, John. Thank you so much for your time. Great information for us, and all the best to you and good luck.
Cool, thank you very much, man.
Thanks so much for giving up your time to talk to us.
Love it.
Thanks, John. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We sincerely thank John for giving up his time to chat to us here on Regular Radio. Let's move right along and check out a few stories from the wonderful world we live in. Grocery shopping by phone app is inevitable, despite a major supermarket chain scrapping its pilot plan to banish checkouts from its stores, a retail expert said. UK retail giant Sainsbury announced it was ending a 3-month trial of smartphone-only shopping at one of its stores in central London. Tills were removed from its Holborn Circus store in April, and customers had to scan their groceries using the company's Pay and Go app as they browsed the aisles. But instead of quicker, more convenient shopping, the app resulted in long queues at the store's help desk as people tried to buy groceries with cash and cards. Some customers found the mobile QR codes hard to scan when leaving the store. Other shoppers were unhappy to use their mobile data allowance to download the Sainsbury app. Similar technology is being trialled in Australia by Woolworths, and tech giant Amazon has piloted till-free stores in the US. Woolworths Scan and Go app has been tested at the supermarket giant's Double Bay store in Sydney. Australian online business expert Trent Rigby said customer appetites for app ordering remain strong despite the UK supermarket giant's experience. Mr. Rigby, a senior analyst with Retail Oasis, said consumer unfamiliarity with these apps poses a short-term hurdle. According to him, the initial take-up as customers learn how to use the app may be a large obstacle. But the long-term outlook for app-based shopping at smaller convenience-style stores is strong. Mr. Rigby went on to say that consumers are now more urban and time poor, and as a result, we're doing more frequent shops with smaller basket sizes. We've seen the rollout of self-checkouts throughout Australia, and I think app ordering through your phone is the next evolution of that. Now on to our next story, and just when you thought video sharing site TikTok couldn't get any wilder, teenagers come along and start gluing their lips together. You see, the internet is obsessed with big lips, a bit like JD's dog. And if you're not blessed with them naturally, lip fillers are the route people are going for. Lip fillers are on the rise, and they're currently one of the most popular non-surgical procedures in the UK, with it accounting for 9 out of 10 procedures. However, with the average price of lip fillers coming in at about £150 to £300 per session, people are looking at other ways of giving themselves a fuller pout. Yes, people are actually gluing their top lip up with super glue to make it appear bigger and more pouty. Much like the Kylie Jenner challenge tapped into everyone's love of fuller lips back in 2015, this one is being hailed a saviour online. This new lip trend is a little more tame too, and won't give the scary bruising like the Kylie Jenner challenge. It all started on TikTok with a video posted by one of its users known as Chloe. In the video, Chloe applies glue just above her cupid's bow and then sticks her upper lip up to make them look fuller. She then completes her transformation with Kylie Cosmetics lipstick. The video was posted in early September and in just 2 days had already cracked up 400,000 likes and was viewed more than 4.5 million times. Now it's doing the rounds on Twitter and has inspired countless copycats. Luckily, eyelash glue or super glue aren't usually too harmful to the skin and can be removed with warm, soapy water, glue remover, lemon juice, acetone oil, or by carefully peeling the skin. However, it can also cause an allergic reaction or remove the skin if pulled apart too forcefully. Also, superglue shouldn't be anywhere near your mouth because the harsh chemicals won't be great for the stomach. Do we really need to tell people this? This is what I'm thinking as I'm reading this story to you. Anyway, it's probably just best to leave this one alone, kids. Now moving right along, there are calls for calm after a plan to stage a barbecue in front of a Perth vegan's house attracted interest from more than 24,000 people. We love a good vegan story here at Regular Radio. Scylla Cardin took her neighbours to court over the smell of meat cooking next door and has since faced fierce backlash online. Her lawyer, John Hammond, told us, "It's really sad what people are doing. There has been a lot of malicious and nasty comments." A Facebook event to have a barbecue in Miss Cardin's street attracted interest from over 24,000 people, as well as thousands of comments, many abusive, and it has since been removed. There was also a warning from West Australian Police for people planning to protest in the Girraween street. Commissioner Chris Dawson said if people are planning to protest, do it in a civil, orderly way. The event organiser has since said they don't condone the abuse of Miss Cardin, and her lawyer has claimed the teenage vegan activist's account was hacked to create the page. Mr. Hammond continued on with saying that has now been referred to police as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with protesting. I think they're simply just having their own little barbecue. Perhaps they had nowhere else to hold it. That's what I'm thinking. We move on to our final story for this month. Scientists have identified more than 100 cases of extreme inbreeding in the UK as a result of a large genetic study looking into the health impacts of incest. I think we've just identified what's wrong with their teeth and what's caused that. A study led by the University of Queensland of nearly 500,000 people in the UK found that there were 125 people whose DNA suggested their parents were first degree and second degree relatives, which has been defined as extreme inbreeding. Based on the data, the researchers estimate 1 in every 3,652 people born in Britain with European ancestry are inbred. The study, published in journal Nature Communications, also found that in this cohort, extreme inbreeding was linked to a host of negative health outcomes. They include reduced lung function, fertility, cognitive function, and a general higher risk of disease. Dr. Loic Yengo from UQ's Institute for Molecular Bioscience led the research and estimated the prevalence of extreme inbreeding using anonymous data from 400,000 individuals in the UK Biobank. It looked for an unusually high amount of homozygosity, where a person's genome possesses two identical forms of a particular gene. If this is significantly higher than normal, it can indicate a person's parents are closely related. The American College of Medical Genetics says extreme inbreeding can be suspected if over 10% of the DNA sequence in an individual has runs of homozygosity. Dr. Yengo said this is the first time that 10% or more in the genome has been quantified in a sample of nearly 500,000 people. Dr. Yengo and colleagues confirmed previous findings suggesting that inbreeding leads to reduced stature, cognitive ability, lung function, and fertility. The participants with more than 10% of their genome zygosis were approximately at 44% higher risk of diagnosis of any kind of disease compared to the rest of the sample. Dr. Yengo concluded with saying, "Our study reinforces that inbreeding has negative consequences on health and implies that the overall burden of disease in populations can be reduced by policies that minimise it." Well, regulars, that brings us to the end of this month's news. I feel like we've covered quite a lot this month. Hope you enjoyed our interview with John Russell. Don't forget to go to visit his webpage if you're interested in finding a little bit more about what he does. Anyway, that's about all. Catch you next time. As always, stay regular.
Thanks, Craig, Jennifer Lawrence of Alabia. That was amazing news. Now we're joined by the beautifully talented Sarah Jackson, literary genius and reader of all books. Welcome, Sarah.
Thanks, guys.
Tonight we are going to talk about 3 amazing topics. In our minds anyway. And to kick things off, I think we should have a little bit of fun with this one and discuss some ridiculous trends. Now, we have seen a couple of photos this evening of girls doing some ridiculous things, such as gluing their top lip to... What is that part? What's that part called?
The undernose.
The undernose part. It basically is giving them a cleft lip look, which for anyone that's got a cleft lip, they actually have surgery to correct. So I just don't understand.
I think it's called the Joaquin Phoenix.
Wow. Is that a jokeum? No. What do you think, Sarah?
No, I disagree. It's not good.
It's not good?
It's not good.
I think we should try it out. Do you know who I think should give it a go?
Who?
JD.
Yeah, let's do it.
I reckon, just for some podcast fun, we should get some eyelash glue and try and...
Of which I have.
Yes, and try and give him that desired cleft lip look. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Yeah, stay tuned, everybody. But while we think about how we're going to make this happen, because he's going to fight us, what are some of the other ridiculous trends that you've seen, Sarah?
Where do we start? I think probably butt implants are a bit on the gross side.
Do you know what I think is gross about butt implants?
What's that?
People flipping them. Have you seen those
my
videos?
God.
People fucking what?
They flip them.
You can literally stand there and manipulate your butt cheek.
You need to Google this.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you can, because it's basically floating.
I need to
You can
look at
actually
this.
rotate it.
Yeah.
I've watched my fair share of botched
I bet
and
you
bad
have.
surgeries post.
Was it research?
Definitely. No, this is called me trying to tune out from real life and watch fucked decisions that other people have made and kind of go, my life is amazing.
Yeah.
And some people, some of the things that they get.
It comes up as this video may be inappropriate for some users on YouTube.
Yeah.
I understand and wish to proceed.
Yeah, exactly.
What the
Yes.
Yes.
So it's kind of like taking it to the next level. You could have a flat butt or you could have a plump butt.
This is like someone who has put a roast beef in their bum.
Oh, wow. I don't know about that.
It is. I'm looking at the video. It's fucked.
Yeah. I think something else that was a huge thing you mentioned, JD, is people vacuuming their lips. Yeah.
Yeah, because you cut off the circulation and then it pulls all the blood towards that area and it plumps up the lips a bit, I believe.
I can't really speak for the whole population here, but Sarah, do you agree in the fact that there's really no point to pumping lips?
Yeah, I do. However, I can understand why people would want like a fuller look, but I think there is a better way to go about doing it. Like you can just use like a lip liner to make it like that fuller effect, like when you're actually doing your makeup.
This is true.
But I'm going to be honest, guys don't give a shit.
I think it's just for people to see walking blowjobs.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it out there. Nathan and I were talking about this the other day.
Single girl things that realistically, like, you look at celebrities that have had Botox, and we all know how fucked up people look. Like John Travolta looks like a lesbian woman right now.
With a bald head.
Exactly. And there's plenty of people like that guys just look at women that have had that much stuff and go, no, you fucked up. Like, what's her name? Farrah Fawcett. Beautiful as a young lady. Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I mean young as in, still of age.
Yeah.
But she just had way too much done.
Similar with Meg Ryan.
Yep, Meg Ryan looks like a walking fucking inflatable doll.
That's the same thing, and I'm going to sound really tragic here, is the chick that plays Taylor on The Bold and the Beautiful. She actually was stunning when she was younger, and now she looks like a blow-up doll.
Yeah. I don't know what a Bold and the
People
Beautiful is.
just take it too far. Like, where do you draw the line? Like, where in society?
None. Plastic surgery, unless it's for medical reasons, like, okay, if you've had a stomach staple, or I can even understand the wrinkle thing to a point. If you're getting a facelift, yes, but when you're getting Botox injections, I don't know if that counts as like a facelift, because realistically, your lips probably were fine beforehand.
Botox is different.
Yeah, Botox goes all over the show. I know that it can be put pretty much anywhere that you want plumping up.
Your lips, that's called something else. That's
Collagen? Yeah, collagen.
Yeah. And then your Botox basically goes in your face.
Look, eat potatoes.
Yeah. Just in case there's some hardcore plastic people out there.
It is, and Gold Coast is bad for it. Gold Coast,
it is.
Extra everything. Extra hair, extra eyelashes, extra tan, extra
boobs.
Extensions and all that sort of thing.
Extra personality.
Butt implants turned around.
Well, you mentioned the Gold Coast there, JD. I'm going to use this as a perfect opportunity to segue into our next topic. Now...
Segue!
We have our fair share of plastic people walking around, and I wouldn't be shy in saying that I would say maybe about half of these people would probably have a sugar daddy. What do you think?
I think that's probably a fair assumption.
I wish I had a sugar daddy.
But do you?
No.
You could have a sugar mama.
So Sarah was telling me some interesting facts about sugar daddies before.
Was she?
For the pure and simple fact of the podcast, not because I have one.
Yeah, my wife. Thank you.
You're my sugar daddy, baby.
Perfect.
I ain't got no sugar.
Do you want to let us know, Sarah, some of the things that you found about sugar daddies?
Yeah, okay. So I was actually really shocked to learn that sugar babies, as they're referred to, aren't actually paid that much. The average monthly income for a sugar baby is only between $1,000 to $5,000, which, if you break it down over a month, it's not a lot, really.
To be fair, if your job is sucking dick, it's not bad.
It's sucking dick and then posting pictures of yourself in barely anything.
Yeah.
But I would find that the most boring job in the world.
Dick sucking?
No, just doing that and nothing else though. Like,
I'll let your fiance know.
That would depend on how many sugar daddies you've had.
You had, yeah.
Why do you have more than one?
Well, that's the thing.
That's 2 dicks you have to suck.
No, but it's just like, if you did nothing else other than like you can't suck a dick more than a certain amount of times. It just gets fatigue. That's just fact. It's not sustainable. So you literally what do you do for the rest of the week? Like
you spend your $1,000 that you got for sucking your dick.
You
say
start off
twice
with a
day.
very erect penis at the beginning of the week. Say that he gets nothing on the weekend, right? And then slowly but surely, those blowjobs either get shorter or they just don't happen because he can't get...
Yeah, but
his balls aren't producing enough. You've got to remember, these are old men.
Yeah, that's true.
Not all the time. I think late 40s to say late 70s would be your spot. Like over 80 would be rare.
Yeah, but men in their 40s still need Viagra.
Something to look forward to.
It's only around the corner.
In 10 years' time, when we're still doing this, I'll let you know.
Oh, that's so funny.
Maybe I should just go buy some for an experiment.
Oh, please don't.
We can just do the podcast while I have a giant boner.
Take it and you don't need it. It can actually do very bad things to you. So please don't.
I had a friend that took it when we were in primary school and he had an erection for 2 days.
Yeah.
In primary school?
Not primary school, high school. Sorry, I'm getting that old. I forget the difference now.
Still
Sounds like you need some Viagra.
No, that's not a memory issue.
Not a memory issue?
A memory issue. Yeah. Anyway, I just think I think it's overrated.
Yeah, definitely.
I had to make sure I was saying the right word.
To be honest, I don't make enough money to have a sugar baby, so yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, apparently, like, men can have a sugar mummy or a sugar mama as well. So, I mean, if you felt like making a bit of extra on the side, you could go, you know.
No, that sounds like hard work. I'd rather just go to work.
Yeah, I'd rather that too, personally.
James go to work?
Yeah.
Sorry, JD, go to work.
Less likely to get an STD.
Yeah,
that's a positive.
Or STI, whatever they call it these
Or a
days.
negative, I would prefer.
So I think we've had enough talking about sugar daddies. Let's get into some real world stuff. Just for one subject at least.
Just for one.
We have just had, I think it's getting put to Parliament at the moment in Queensland, that there's going to be a very big hefty fine and possible jail time for anyone that leaves their dog in a locked car.
Finally.
How good is that?
Yeah, it needs to happen. It really needs to happen. It
I think
happens
so.
too often.
Yeah.
It's the same as a child. If you take the responsibility of taking care of something or someone that is a living biological creature, and you put it in a situation that would definitely, in terms of a hot car, especially in Queensland, harm them or cause them to lose their life, then I'm all for that.
Yeah. We've actually witnessed firsthand at our local Bunnings a dog being locked in a car.
Yeah.
And it was really distressing to see. Like, this poor dog was clearly unwell.
Distressed,
It was
yeah.
really awful. And they paged this man over the intercom for a good 5 to 10 minutes before he reappeared. And it was like...
And he did not give a single fuck.
He didn't. He didn't seem to care at all. It was very like, oh yeah, who cares kind of attitude.
I don't get it, right? So I think people that take their animals in the car have a little bit more love for their animal than to keep them at home. You would imagine.
Yep.
Right? Because you want to take your animal everywhere you go. But why lock it in a car?
Yeah.
Well, that's
leave it at home. It's actually better for it to be at home.
And if you're going to Bunnings where you are allowed to
Allowed.
take your dogs in on a trolley or muzzled walking around, I don't see why you would leave it in the car.
Yeah.
Look, I guess he probably walked in thinking, okay, I'm going to be gone 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The issue with that is 5 minutes is too long.
Yeah,
especially on a hot day. Yeah, it might be okay on a 20-degree day. And it might be okay on the tray of a ute in the shade. But if it's in a car with no window cracked or no water available and 5 minutes turns into 15 minutes, that's the issue. I mean, he doesn't know how long the lines are.
Yeah.
He doesn't know who's in there shopping. He doesn't know who's watching the dog either. So, I mean, it's probably good intentions, but poorly planned.
Yeah. 100%. I think people really need to start thinking about their actions. I think we're living in such a society that so many things are automatically done for us now because of technology that people have stopped thinking.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of those things because we've got electronic windows, we don't have wind-up windows, so people aren't actually getting out of their car to put the back windows down, all that kind of stuff, but they're still not thinking that, oh, I might need to do that because there's a living thing in my car that is quite... You know,
I guess the
means-
easiest way to think
means
about
a
it
lot
is
to
if
me.
you wouldn't leave your child in there, don't leave your dog in there.
Yeah,
the
that's
problem
fair.
is, though, people do leave their children in the cars.
Yeah, those are crackheads. Or people
Yeah.
that are addicted to gambling.
Or people that have mental health issues that don't actually, they're not present in the moment as well. That has happened a few
Yeah,
times. which
way
is a bit
too many
sad.
way too many children die from being left in hot cars.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a serious topic.
That was a very serious topic to end in, but I just thought, we might bring something worthy
to the table.
to the table, yes. And it was just nice to have Saige in with us tonight. So
very nice.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Anytime. I guess we're going to get back into the music.
Woohoo!
Yay!
There's nothing just about this next artist. Just Jillian is next with Question Me.
Why do you question me? Is it a part of you or honesty? My lips are sealed for security. The circumstances you go far between. And I wanna know you. I wanna know you before I let you in. I wanna know you. I am Why do you threaten me? Is there a part of you that's afraid of change? Right at your fingertips is where I see you're half the man you thought you'd be. And I wanna know you. I wanna know you before I let you in. I wanna know you. I thought we had an understanding. We were gonna love each other, give everything we could, and honor and respect each other. But I let you in too early when I let you in my door. And I didn't learn my lessons from all the broken hearts before. And you took up all my time and all my energy and soul. Just taking while I'm giving. I cannot give it anymore. All well knowingly deep down that this is not what love should be. I'll give to someone more deserving, and that someone must be me.
We welcome back Glow Becky. Turn up, fade black, put on your glasses, and act real cool. for the Irish. Hello to Benny. This is Dance Again.
Sometimes when you're on the top, all you see is the bottom. These days can be sad, but everybody's got them. When your life is full, but it seems like it's empty. No, you're not on your own, you still feel lonely. Keep holding on, keep being strong. And we'll dance again. Don't let these feelings bring you down. Yeah, we'll dance again. The pain will go again someday. Yeah, we'll feel this joy. Don't let these feelings bring you down. And we'll dance again. When you feel like you're lost, you just can't find that door. And those mountains seem higher than you have ever climbed before. Keep holding on, keep being strong. And we'll dance again. Don't let these feelings bring you down. Yeah, we'll dance again. The pain will go again someday. Yeah, we'll feel this joy. Don't let these feelings bring you down. And we'll dance again. The pain will go again someday. And we'll dance again. Don't let these feelings bring you down. And we'll dance again. And we'll dance again someday.
A powerful and energetic beat is about to come right at you with Asilla. A little theme for the month. Enjoy Paranormal.
Never thought I would have such a big temptation to take you home with me, kiss me deeply like you wanting me. Hands on my waist, but don't you do it again. Pull me closer, let me in. Loving, running, crying, watching, playing the game. It's our story, don't you know it? Let's do it again. I said move me, take me, play me till you make me paranormal. It's our normal, let's do it again. Sunsets are more beautiful when looking at them with you. The clear midnight sky while we lie. Close our eyes, forget for a while until the light came up at 9:15. Loving, running, crying, watching, playing the game. It's our story, don't you know it? Let's do it again. I said move me, take me, play me till you make me paranormal. It's our normal, let's do it again. Let's go there, why don't we? I wanna go there, why can't we? Let's go there, why don't we? I wanna go there, why can't we? normal, it's abnormal, let's do it again. Loving, running, crying, watching, playing the game. It's our story, don't you know it? Let's do it again. I said move me, take me, play me till you make me paranormal. It's abnormal, let's do it again.
If you're into colourful hands, you're going to love Red Hand and their song, Gone.
It's been a long time since I've been at ease. I'm not really at peace. It's been a long time since I've been gone. The road just goes on and on. I've seen the wrong side of you for the last time. This loneliness is sublime. The last words that you said replay in my head. So I listen to the radio instead. The vague distortions of static hoarsen my memories like waves in the ocean. Maybe I blew things out of proportion, but now that's not important. We can change the situation now. So I'm taking this ride out of town. As I sit here listening to the static, I realize that love has lost its magic for me. Time heals all wounds except the memory of you. I'll never forget what you put me through. Never forget what you put me through. Time heals all wounds except the memory of you. I'll never forget what you put me through. Figuring it out is a waste of time. You push me down, now I gotta climb back to the warmth of the sun and the sky. Back to the place where my life shines. Back to the life when I was dignified. Back to the life before I died inside. Back to life, back to life, back to life. Time heals all wounds except the memory of you. I'll never forget what you put me through. Never forget what you put me through. Time heals all wounds except the memory of you. I'll never forget what you put me through.
If you merged a prince with impressive biceps, what do you think you'd get? I'd say princeps. What a miracle.
I'm falling apart. It's not the greatest of starts. Like we thrown to the sharks. You've forgotten how to swim. I don't understand what anyone's thinking or thinking. And drinking away the pain. Or why you going
obvious to everyone. I know that we're thinking and not thinking about each other or ourselves. Why you going back to there again? No, you can't stop it from happening. It's a miracle.
Thanks, Regular Radio regulars, for tuning in this month. How good were all the tracks we played, Em?
Bloody amazing, I would say. What do you reckon?
I was pretty happy. The quality has definitely just continues to go up every month we play music.
I think so. In this new little format, a little bit of fun.
Yeah, just mixing shit up a bit, basically, because Shawnee's asleep and Dalton's working.
Maybe we could just say that the two of them are that famous now that they're touring the country and they've gone MIA.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Shawnee and Dalton are too famous for us now.
Yeah.
Don't forget, if you're an independent musician or in an unsigned band, you can send us your track to be played on the podcast. You just got to fill out the submission form on our website at allthews.regularradio.com.au. Don't forget that .au, otherwise you won't get to our podcast.
And don't forget to stalk us on all of the socials, because we just go a little bit happy crazy on there from time to time, and you see all of our reviews, our polls, our memes, everything, like all of the fun. So find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter with Craig in the News.
Craig's on Twits.
That's basically it, really.
And Snapchat.
Oh, and Snapchat,
yeah.
yes.
I don't even know if we use the Snapchat.
No, we really don't use the Snapchat.
You haven't been putting up breasticle photos?
No, sorry.
Damn. Well, don't forget, you can also submit your gigs no matter where you are in the world as well. Just follow the links on the website and we will share your gigs with everyone that wants to read them.
And if you have absolutely any suggestions that you'd like to hear us talk about or change for the podcast, by all means, let us know.
If you want to see those Snapchat photos we're talking about, just email us. We'll send them through.
No.
In postcard format. Also, a huge shout out to our interns, Coben and Arthur. They've done a great job on editing and producing a fair amount of this month's audio, so thank you guys.
Woo-hoo. All right, well, if it's not regular, it's not radio.